Who is GIjoefan1976's Renegades Cobra Commander? Well, before we can tell you who Cobra Commander is, we must tell you who Chris Knight was. Chris Knight was a 31-year-old scientist that owned one of Three Knights Pharmaceuticals with his mother and father. But unlike his mother and father and most of the other scientists that worked for one of Three Knights Pharmaceuticals, where they wanted to better mankind, Chris Knight believes it is up to him to make something better than mankind. For if he does this, he would be a god. He is interested in only finding a way for him not to die. He wants to become immortal and become invincible, for if he was not able to die, he would be a god. He wants to create his own race, but how does one do this? He started testing on everything, and one day it hit him, why not try nature's death dealer itself? The king cobra, for if it was king, he would be its god. Testing on cobras was a chance to test a theory he had about cobra venom. We have anti-venoms, he thought. Well, why not see if a venom could be reversed? And instead of killing, could it help one live? Could it be an anti-aging serum? Since he did not want anyone to know what he was doing, he kept things to himself and only trusted one other scientist, almost as twisted as Chris Knight. This scientist is now known as Dr. Mindbender. One night they thought they had found the correct dosage of venom, DNA, and a new technology. They used the serum first on the test subject, Cobra Serpent Origin, which from what they could tell it was a success. Nothing they tried killed the test subject, Serpent Origin, or now known as Serpentor. The time had come to test it on Chris Knight, and the serum seemed to work. He learned that he could not be killed. As Chris Knight and Dr. Mindbender had tested many ways to prove that Chris Knight no longer had any weaknesses, they believed they had achieved what they had set out to do. That was until it came time to set the rest of Chris Knight's plans in motion. Changes began to happen to Serpent Origin, or Serpentor. It began growing in size. If these changes were happening to Serpentor, what, if anything, was going to happen to Chris Knight? Chris Knight started changing, but not in size. No, the changes to Chris Knight was he became weaker. His wounds had stayed away while testing started to appear. Since it could not be his fault or his serum's fault that had backfired, it had to be Mindbender's fault. As he tried to attack Mindbender, a fire broke out because of all the other stuff that was in there and throwing stuff and everything. So an explosion or fire broke out. Mindbender was able to convince Chris Knight that it was neither of their faults. Mindbender was there to help and said, without him, how will we be able to perfect the serum? Maybe we just need to increase the dosage. Having no other choice, they did it, and it seemed to start working. As his wounds started to heal, you need me, Mindbender says. We just need more ways of doing better research. We need better facilities. We need more money. They were able to escape the building before it exploded, but they used the explosion as a way of going into hiding. I learned that the serum at its early stages does make one invincible, but its effects begin to reverse. Another side effect of the Cobra serum, it first affects your skin like a flesh-eating virus, then your muscles, and then your bone, and finally your organs. Because of these side effects, Chris Knight, now with the help of Mindbender and their newest ally, known as the Baroness, has been able to fight off many of these side effects by creating many different body armors and metal bandages, and life support systems, and eventually by creating Adam de Cobra and founding Cobra Industries. Thanks to this, and things unknown, the fight continues to perfect the Cobra serum. Although Chris Knight is presumed to be dead, and Adam de Cobra is believed not to exist, Cobra Commander lives. So that's what I have for right now, but hopefully in the comments and other stuff like that, I'll think of something maybe more fleshed out. But I basically was thinking of it kind of from some of the things that were happening in Renegades, and after I know, those of you that are going to comment have seen the episodes, then I'll be able to go into it a little bit better. But I think I found a way of making it connect, and there definitely are a bunch of other episodes that kind of lead me to thinking this way, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. But I was also thinking, maybe it's the atmosphere that is preventing Cobra Commander from finding whatever it is that is wrong with my Cobra Commander or the real Renegades Cobra Commander, because there are, and I'll put an annotation or something right here, but I do know that there is a disability, I'm going to say, where certain people can't go out in the sun or in our atmosphere because it affects their skin differently. So I was kind of seeing that as something that happens to Cobra Commander, and that's why the figure is all pale, because he can't go out in the sun, and he has to rely on all these other people, because although he's invincible as long as he's within confined and stuff, as soon as he goes out in the public, then it doesn't work as well, and he has to be close by so he can get injections and everything like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I thank you and look forward to you rating, commenting, and subscribing. But above all, thank you for allowing me to show that there's more to this G.I. Joe collector than just playing with toys. Bye. We'll see you next time.